Well, hello, this is Chase Swift today, pardon me. And today is August 23rd. We're winding down August, heading into one of the most, I guess, best marketing times of the year into fall. And so, this is getting good. So as you're using the My Partner Profit System, we had a question here in the group that I will address. How to maximize and utilize the autoresponder get response. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring up my browser and get into probably the best tools you'll ever use online. That is your autoresponder, and we use get response. Okay, we use get response because it's extremely well respected in the industry. It's a great autoresponder. There are other good ones too, but it's right up there. Okay, let's just talk about basic stuff here. I'm going to go to getresponse.com and talk a little bit more about why we use GetResponse. Okay, so email marketing, getting your message through to prospects via email, it is awesome. Okay, and GetResponse does. They really have it together. They have iPhone apps. They have ways to check your subscribers through your apps on your phones, things like that. It's very sophisticated. It looks like that might be even a video. And it is. Okay. We won't go through that right now, but it is a tour of GetResponse. You might want to take a look at that. Okay. Let's jump over to the pricing. It's very economical to get going. Okay. So with My Partner Profit, your goal is to get subscribers. And let me tell you something you may not have understood or you just didn't understand. 1,000 subscribers. If you have that many subscribers, and that's not hard to get, over time it'll easily happen. That is worth $1 for each person you have on your autoresponder. Did you get that? I'm not talking about upgrades or all these things. I'm talking about subscribers. On average, every subscriber on your autoresponder is worth $1 per month. So if you have 1,000 subscribers, especially in the MyPiP system, you can just count on it. Okay, you're going to count on $1,000 a month. Okay, because you're going to be connecting with 1,000 people. Of those people, certain percentages of people will follow through on your email. They'll upgrade, they'll purchase, they'll buy, they'll do something that makes you money. Okay? Now, you don't have to jump in right ahead, but if you are certain that you know that you want to just really rock it, you can increase your size of your list and pay up to $25 a month to have up to 2,500 subscribers. Now, if you have that many subscribers, you're going to be making $2,500 a month. And let me tell you, $25 is nothing as far as the expense to automate the follow-up of those subscribers. Okay, now it gets more expensive as you build more list. Okay, as your subscribers increase. Get 10,000 subscribers. On average, $1 a piece per month is what you'll be making, especially with the MyPiP system. Okay, so you'll be earning $10,000 a month. Okay, what are you going to pay for it? $65. You kidding me? It's awesome. Okay, so you may not have known that every subscriber, I don't care if they don't do Z and Z. I don't care if they don't join your primary business. I don't care really about much other than building my list. And some of you get going, you get 30, and you're like, well, I haven't made $30 a month yet. Well, it starts pretty much like around 100, okay? You got to get the pump primed, okay? So this is important. You're like, I didn't realize that. 1,000 subscribers, 500 subscribers, $500 a month on average. Because some people will be doing Z and Z, or they're going to upgrade in the challenge, or they're going to upgrade in the classic, or they're going to get staged, or they're going to get whatever you are offering through the MyPiP system. There's lots of things, and that's where the money comes from. Okay, so it's awesome. Your autoresponder is a moneymaker. And the more people you have on it, the more money you make. Simple as that. So don't give up when you have 30 or 50 or 75. You just got to get it going. Around 100, something like that, things start happening. Okay? When you get to 2,500 and more, it's quite exciting. Okay? So that is the autoresponder. Now, in the MyPiP systems, all of them, the Classic, the Express, and the Challenge, they're all basically set up the same way. I'm going to go into the Challenge right now and explain. I've done several videos on GetResponse, but I'll cover it one more time. Now, it's always a good idea to remember, do not ask any of the other affiliate companies for MyPiP support. Okay, if you need help, come to me on Thursdays. Come to the Facebook group 24/7. Go to your sponsor. Click here for your lines of support. And by the way, the Facebook community is right here. Click that. And you'll be instantly connected with the Facebook group. Okay? By the way, the best training in the world right now. Hello. Hope you're here. Okay? So that's the Facebook group. Awesome. Okay? Your sponsor and other frequently asked questions. Your sponsor will be listed right there. Get to know your sponsor. Mine, as you can see, is Paul. Awesome sponsor that he is. Okay? So, let's go back and delve into step 3, which is using the system. Okay? Hopefully you've done step 1 and 2. Lesson 4, automate your follow-up. That's the GetResponse autoresponder. Okay? So click that. Now, you read this, and some of you need to not just read it and say, oh, that's too hard. Oh, I give up. Oh, I don't understand this. Oh, this is not written well enough. I don't understand it. Well, read it 10 times. Okay? Read each paragraph. Okay? I've set up a complete website that is already proven to be a profit machine, but let me share something with you. Okay? And it goes in how to build your list, and that is the most valuable thing that you can have. Okay? The purpose of your autoresponder is to follow up with your website visitors that join as free members, to provide helpful information, build trust with them, and ultimately sell them on becoming an active MyPiP member. Okay? So, read this stuff. It's really awesome stuff. Okay, it's very good. And as you get down, you're going to be coming to the setup. Okay? This is important. Once they subscribe to your list, they will remain on your list forever or until they unsubscribe. But if you basically give them some good information, you're going to have a name and email address for the rest of your life. Okay? And they can subscribe if they want. They might just say, oh, that person doesn't know me, doesn't care, blah, blah, blah. And that happens, okay? So, when you set this up, really simple. Click here. It'll set you up to get GetResponse under your sponsor, okay? So, for me, I would be joining under Paul, my sponsor. And I get to pick what I want to start with. And up to 1,000 subscribers, perfect. Okay? If you want to get a discount, you can pay $147.60 all up front, and you'll get 18% off. Okay, it'll save some money. People do have money and they want to save some, so that's a good thing. And if you get someone to join at this level, you'll make a 33% commission of $147, okay, every year. Okay, it's pretty cool. Now, a lot of people will choose just to go monthly, so you'll make a 33% commission on $15. It's $5 a month, okay? It's pretty awesome. So anyway, let's go into setup. Most people can do all this stuff. They get stuck around here, okay, where they submit their web form. Okay, so most people, they don't understand, they don't see this well enough. You just need to be patient. Okay, so I'm going to go through this quickly. All these written and illustrated steps. Okay, I'm going to show you the high points. Okay, so let's open up a new tab. Okay, opening up another tab gives you the ability to have two websites, and let me log in to get response. Two websites at the same time on the same computer in tabs. Okay, these are tabs. Okay, I realize some of you know this, but a lot of people don't. Okay, they don't understand how their computer can be so easy to operate. Okay, so here's the idea. You read a lesson. Okay, you read this. You know, I just got my account. I log in, and you're like, oh, okay, so I can log in. Okay, I'll do that. And you log in with your username, not an email address, a username, and your password. Your browser should remember it for you and make it easy. Okay, log in. Okay, then you can go back to tab 1 because you're ready for the next set of instructions. So click on the tab. Okay, click create campaign. All this is step by step. And literally, if you take it step by step, you'll be able to switch tabs, read the directions, do the step. Read the directions, do the step. Take your time, no rush. Check yourself, read the directions, and do the step. Okay? And so when you see a picture, you can kind of get the sense that you're going to create a campaign from your campaign manager, and there's a red circle here. Okay? Well, you're like, it appears to be over here on the right side of the screen. So you go over here, and sure enough, there are some things going on here, and there's a drop down, and right there is the create campaign. Okay, now I have several campaigns. Okay, you can have multiple campaigns. You can be marketing and following up with people on several different topics or several different campaigns. You just create a campaign for each new one. Okay, now that's not the hard part. Okay, so people can create the campaign. Now make sure that you name it what we suggest, MyPiP challenge, and then it puts in your MyPiP username, Chase Swift. Okay, so if you don't know how to do that, just double click the word. Some of you try to select it and you're like wacky, you know, you're all over the place. You're not very coordinated with your mouse. And if you copy that, you've copied more stuff than you really need. What you do is hover your mouse over the word and then double click it. Look at that, it totally nailed it every time. I was showing someone the other day how to do this. They're trying to select it and they didn't get it, right? Their mouse, it's hard sometimes, right? But double click on the word. Double click right on the word. Double click on any word. It'll highlight it for you really quickly. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, see that? Quickly, be efficient with your computer, know how it works. Okay, once you get it copied or selected, just hover your mouse over the blue. Don't go over here and do a right click. It can get confused. I like to hover right over the blue area and right click, choose copy. Then you don't have to type this in. Be efficient and very methodical, and you will do very well. Okay, so I've already done this. I'm just pointing out that you can double click words really quickly to select them. You don't get spaces or anything else. You don't have to be a master with your mouse. Double click. Works every time. Works on any word, okay? Boom, 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 boom. So simple. Okay, so that's how you name your campaign. You would go under there and do that. Now, as people come down here, they can do all this and they're like, this. And this one is a hard one because you can't double click it and get the whole link. Let me show you a trick. You can start here, double click, and then go right to the end. Get your cursor where it turns into that cross beam. Hold down the Shift key on your keyboard. Hold it down and click once. Look at that. Some of you are like struggling. You're like, oh, your mouse is all over the place, right? You're like, you know? And you kind of get it, but wouldn't it be great if just double click right there. It stops when it hits the colon because your computer is pretty smart. That knows it's not a word there. Okay, so double click on HTTP and then just go right to the P right there. See that? Hold down the Shift key on your keyboard, hold it down, click once. Okay, highlights it every time. Boom, nailed it. You got the whole link. Then you can right click on the blue and choose copy. Okay, then you can do your next step. Okay, and you would just go over to get response. What I've done and showed you is like create the campaign. Okay, I'll go ahead and do it. And then you go, oh, what do I do? Well, you go back and remember you get your name, so you double click it, right click, choose copy. See how fast that was? Double click, right click, choose copy. Done. Then you can go back over here and paste it in. Right click in the box. Okay. Can't be out here. You can't be doing it over here, right click, because there is no box here. It doesn't know to paste. Okay. You got to be in the box. Right click in the box. Paste. Look at that every time. Now I've done some other tests, so I'm not going to do that again. But you would create your new campaign. Okay. So then, you're just going back to the next tab, reading the next step. Take it slowly. Step 5, create new under web forms in the menu. Well, it looks like there's something right here because it's circled. So you can see there's kind of a menu and you can't quite read it, but it does say web forms. But you're like, You go over here and you're like, oh, this is the menu and there's web forms. Go to create new. Very simple. Doesn't that make sense? It's hard to put a full-size screenshot in this little window on this page. So we're doing the best they can to show you what to do. Okay? So you go through the web forms and you don't really do anything because why? Paul Birdsall created the splash page. This is an opt-in form on a splash page. You don't need to create it. You don't need to do anything on this page. Just click next step. Paul's splash page for you has everything done. Okay? Oops, wrong. So when you go to your splash page, this is the opt-in form right here, the name and email part. Paul has already created that for you. You don't need to create it under web forms because it's already done. So this step that I'm showing you here, that's why you just click next step. You don't have to design the website, the splash page. Paul already did it for you. It's right there. All you have to do is attach the special number, which is step 9. Now, here's where you're going to enter that web address. So double click, okay, highlights it, shift, hold down shift, click. Then you got your link, and you can copy that, okay? Now this is where you go under web forms. I'll show you that real quick. You would go under web forms, create new, okay? Now you also have to be in the correct campaign. You can see I'm in MyPiP. If you're doing the challenge, you need to be in the challenge. So I'll click that one. Okay. So under web forms, when you create new, what this does is create a number. It gives it a number to the autoresponder. Okay, and you got to attach that number to this opt-in form. It's just a simple little number. Okay, so you can create a new one. I'll go ahead and do it, even though I've already done it. Okay, so this is the part where you don't do anything. Okay, you don't need to design the splash page. Paul already did. So you just go down to the bottom and click Next Step. Now this is the part where you have to do one little customization. Okay. So you don't want the default, you want the custom thank you. Where did you learn that? Right there, custom thank you page. Click the radio button beside custom thank you page. And there's a little red circle and then a box, and that's where the link will go that you just copied. Double click, shift click, right click, copy. Okay, so you read these steps and you do the step. Okay, so you click custom thank you, take that out, okay, delete it, and then paste. Okay, and you should get that right to the end. Notice the P there, and then you can check right at the beginning HTTP. Be precise. Web addresses, everything on the computer, you got to be precise. Okay, and you can just go to the next step. So simple. Now, here's that 6-digit number right there. Now, like I said, you can double click on words and it'll select it for you. Isn't that cool? Okay, you can select, remember it'll stop at the colon. That's not a letter, so it stops. But you can select all kinds of words. Okay, well, you can also do numbers. Isn't that cool? So you can select words by double clicking them. But what you want to do is select the number. Okay, double click, okay, and then put your mouse right over in the selected area, the blue area, right click, copy. Okay, pretty darn easy. This is that 6-digit number that needs to go back on step 9. Okay, so I would do this step. I've already done it. Okay, and then you see, oop, there's a little square there, or a little red square on your number. And that's the number. Okay, get the 6 or 7-digit number that is generated on this page. It will follow the text JS WID equals. Well, it does. Okay, JS WID equals. That's the number you get. So simple. Okay, that's the only thing you have to do is copy that number and put it into step 9. Now, remember, I've already done this. Don't need to do it again. I actually created a second web form. That's okay. It's not the end of the world. Doesn't hurt. But you only need to do this once. If you have a 6-digit number there and you are in the correct campaign, okay, you got to make sure you're in the right campaign, and you copy your number, it's guaranteed to work. Okay? We get so many questions like, how do I know my autoresponder is working? Well, when you follow these directions very carefully, okay, you get a 6-digit number right there. That's it. You just need to make sure you're in the right campaign, okay, and you can change it. Make sure you're in the right campaign, okay, and then whatever that number is for that campaign, that's your number. You can double click it. That is the essence of setting up the autoresponder. So easy. Paul has done 99.9% of the work. Okay, pretty cool. Now, the last step is going to be adding the messages. And you see that, okay, so at this point, congratulations. You've now linked your GetResponse autoresponder to the MyPiP system with that 6-digit number, okay? Now there are some opt-in settings. Now I admit this has changed a little bit, and it hasn't been updated here, so watch this video as you're doing and you can see how to change the opt-in settings. Click the little gear, okay, beside your campaign, right there. And they want you to make sure that that same campaign that you just created is selected. In my case, MyPiP Challenge Chase Swift. I go to the little red gear right in the corner. And then I do some things here. Now this is slightly different. Slightly. Okay, watch this. We're going to go up to the gear. There it is. Challenge Chase Swift. We can't see it all, but it's there. Click the gear. Even right after this step, you don't need to save anything. It's already saved. Just go right up to your gear. Click the gear once. And it'll take you to this setup of this general profile and permission. Now, your autoresponder's on. This is something completely different. If you want to find out about it, you can click on it. Your autoresponder's on. You do not need to turn this on. It's a different setting. Don't even worry about it. Your autoresponder's on. Don't mess with this, okay? People say, oh, should I turn that on? No, you don't need to, and I'm not going to explain it. You don't need to know. Kind of like electricity, it works when you flip the light switch. But you need to go to permission. Okay, just click on permission. And make sure web subscriptions is unchecked. It says that. Okay, now it says deselect all three of them. Okay, but the most important was web subscription. Why? This is a web subscription. You're on the web. The person's on the web, on your web page. This is on the web. They're not emailing you, okay, which is what email subscriptions are. We're not doing email. They're not emailing you. They're going to the web. They're going to your web page. They're filling up this form on your web page. This is your splash page, okay? Get it? All right, so just make sure web subscription is unchecked. What that does is they do not have to confirm, okay? They don't have to do a second step. They just immediately get your email. Immediately. As soon as they put their name and email, boom, GetResponse sends them the first message. As soon as they put their name and email and click submit, boom, GetResponse will send them your first message. They won't have to confirm. That is what you're doing. It's very important to do. Make sure web subscriptions is unchecked. There's no save button. Just uncheck it. It'll automatically save. Don't worry about anything here. This should have been set up. When you set up your campaign, you would have put in your email. Okay? You can change that, but pretty much leave it as is, the way you set it up. Okay? That's it. Last step is going to your preload, okay, and preloading the messages that Paul wrote. Okay, how do you know that? Well, after you do all this stuff, you don't need to do the save. That's a slight change. There is no save. GetResponse will do it automatically as soon as you click that button. Okay, so now you download the messages. Okay, under preload, under messages. I realize that's a little hard to see. You can kind of see it's about the third item, red circle right there. Okay, messages, preload. Okay, now I've generally told people that, you know, you did not write the letter, so you got to change the source. Paul wrote the letters, you did not. Okay, so this step is all about getting Paul's letters because he wrote them and they're in his account. So you got to change the source account. Okay, and Paul's campaign is MyPiP Challenge. That's what he named it. That's the letters you're going to get from Paul, not from you, from Paul. So how do you select that word? Double click. Double click. Remember, you can double click any word and select it. Isn't that handy? Okay, double click, double click, double click, double click, double click. Okay, pretty fun. Now just right click and choose copy. All right, and then go back. You do about 3 or 4 steps all in once. I'll show you these. So, got to change the source account. These are, well, it won't show because I should really make a new campaign because I've already imported letters. Okay, but you click change source account and you put in Paul's campaign right there, MyPiP challenge. Okay, and you look at the picture. Look. See that box? You leave the password blank, and then there's a little thing you need to change here, and that's the login. Everything is really close. Okay? It says leave the password blank. Click login. All these things. So, there it is. You got Paul's campaign right in there. Leave the password blank and change it from user account to campaign. The campaign, you're not going to log into his account. No, he's got a password on that one, by the way. But you're going to log into his campaign of the MyPiP challenge. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Log into the campaign. Now, you've got it set up. You've got to log in. Click log in. Click OK. Get response will log in to Paul's account. Okay? So on the left side is Paul's campaign. Paul wrote these follow-up messages. There they are. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now this is going to be blank generally. I've got all these campaigns filled, so I can't really do much. But your campaign will be, again, make sure, step 4A, make sure MyPiP challenge Chase Swift, whatever yours says, make sure that is selected. Okay? So when I go here, it is selected. Right there. Okay? But it also needs to be selected right here. So challenge Chase Swift. Okay? And I have letters in mine. Okay? And I've written some more. You see that? I've written more. Can you do that, Chase? Yeah, you can. It's actually better to write more letters. But when you log in to your campaign, most likely you'll have Zippo in here, right? Nothing. Because I've already done this, my letters are there. But all you'll need to do is click copy all. It'll take the letters from the left side, Paul's account, okay, their follow-up messages. All of these will move right over to yours. Okay? Now I've edited mine, I've written more. It's okay to do that. I like to give a lot of follow-up. I care deeply about my prospects. I want them to know that I care about them and I want to help them. Okay, so I've written more letters. Okay, and we'll cover that real quick. Then the last thing you would do is click save. Now I'm not going to re-import these, but all you have to do is click copy all. Okay. I realize that this whole process is very foreign to some of you, but it is laid out step by step. Okay. Then the last thing you need to do is just edit them. Okay. So you go under manage follow-ups. Okay. Now pretend I would just save these. So pretend I click save. Then you would go right up to manage or under messages to my follow-ups. Okay. And that'll load the letters that you just imported. Okay. Now, my letters, I've written a lot more, haven't I? Yes, I have. Okay. But you would just go through and edit. And let me be really clear on this. The only thing you change is Paul's name to yours. Okay. Now, my letters are, let's scroll down here. A little bit different. I've added some content, but basically all you're going to do is add your contact information. Okay, I like my phone number. I give people a sense of the time zone that I'm in and my Skype. Okay, I also put webinar information in the other emails because I do daily webinars. Okay, so that way I automatically let them know when my webinars are coming, okay, when they can join. So you just go through all your follow-ups. Actually, all you do is go down to the bottom and save it. So just change your name or Paul's name to your name. Change Paul's phone number to yours. Add your time zone if you want, where you live, because this is global. If you have a Skype, that's awesome. Okay, and then click Save Message. That is it. Once you do it, it's set for life. Okay, the letters will automatically go out. The other thing you want to do is make sure that your first email is on day 0. Some campaigns, Paul writes the day 1 letter for you, and he leaves the 0 out. So you would need to write a letter. And what you could do, just go down and click Create a follow-up message. Okay, so click that. Actually, I'll talk about creating follow-up messages. Now they have different versions and different ways to do this. The new email creator is pretty cool. Great graphics, very nice, very professional, beautiful images that you won't have access to probably yourself. Okay, if you like to play with HTML, some of you do. Actually, most of you don't. But if you need to, you can use the HTML source editor. Okay, you can also go to the previous version of the editor, but the new email creator is pretty nice. Okay, and so let me just show you that. We'll click there. Okay, now you'll see that immediately it goes to the next day. When you're writing, if you don't have a day 0, put day 0. Okay, and then you're going to put a message name. This is kind of for you. Now I just put like follow-up. That's really all it is, right? It's kind of a follow-up. You can do that for all your messages. They're follow-ups. Okay, then your subject will have generally their first name. So I always like to personalize it, and the way you do that is, let me delete that. You personalize, and maybe we're going to put it right at the end. So get your cursor right where you want their first name. Come over to personalize. Put their first name. Boom. That's the code for their first names. So the email subject line will read, what can you do in 90 days? First name. So that'll be, what can you do in 90 days, Bob, Jim, Susie, Paul, all their first name. And they get that because they're going to put their name right here. And GetResponse can delineate their first name. Pretty cool. Okay, so then just come down and click Next Step. Okay, now this is already set, so I need to change it. Let's go to day 40. Okay, but if you're writing your first letter, put 0. Okay, if you already have a 0, then it'll automatically default to the next day in the series. Okay, I'll leave it at day 40. 40 days of emails, isn't that great? Okay, so then you get to choose some different styles, and if you want to do a plain text, the advantages is most email will read and it'll just go right in plain text. Paul gives us a lot of plain text, and you're just going to type, and you can personalize things. Okay, so hope you're doing well. Okay, type stuff. You're just going to type like you normally send an email. Okay, you just say, I just wanted to blah blah blah, tell you about or remind you about the MyPiP system. Whatever you want to say. Then you'll close with your name. Okay, your phone number, all that good stuff, so they know how to contact you. Okay, right? and Skype and all that good stuff. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the previous step because some of you may want to write a little more fancier email. Okay, so they do have an HTML version. Okay, most of you will not use that. You might be able to import stuff. You can have some templates. You can start from scratch. Okay, so let me show you that. Where you just have like an image and some text, or text, image, text, or something that might have a picture. This might have a picture of a cell phone on it. Let's check that out. I've never looked at that. But basically you get nice little pre-laid out templates, and you're going to have to provide images. Okay, let's just check this one out. One column 2. I guess they have different versions. Let's try that. See what it looks like. Okay, it's working on it. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think so, but it looked like it had a little picture of a cell phone. It didn't. Okay, but here's a great start. I mean, they're like, choose an image, write some text, and there's a headline for you. Isn't that cool? It's written in Latin to give you an idea. This is what you should type. Okay, so let's have some fun. And then you could close, and then you could say that could be a click here, or join here, or find out more, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so let's play with this. This is pretty awesome. Let's start with the image. So choose an image, click here once. It'll open this fabulous image editor. Okay, so here come all these wonderful images, and let's say you want the concept time. Okay, that's an image that comes up. Or what about a clock? Okay, let's use that image. Okay, so just click it. And there it is. Now in this case it's a little small, so we can make it a little bit bigger. Okay, that's right. Isn't that awesome? Holy cow. And you could say something like, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, are you running? Let's actually undo that. If you make a mistake, you can undo. Okay, I'm just going to get this bold here. So, are you running out of time? Okay, now you could delete some of the extra stuff. It's kind of a trick to start typing right in the middle, and then just delete what you want, and it leaves the format. Okay, and you could even put their first name. Okay, here's a personalization tag. Okay, are you running out of time? First name. Okay, this is an element, and anytime you mouse over it, you can kind of edit it by clicking once. And then you get the menu where you can do all these things. Okay, so then you could say blah, blah, blah. Now I might start selecting stuff in the middle, or delete that. If you leave that word there, it'll save the style of the font. Sometimes it might change. Okay, so you could just say, I hope you are doing well despite the fact that you feel like you have no time to enjoy your family and friends. Okay, so we could take out that word too. Okay, talk about something, like the fact that you are leveraging your time in My Partner in Profit. You get leads on autopilot, you get cash flow, and that will help them with their time issue, right? Yes, it could be. I got a slight little space right there. I'm a perfectionist, so I like looking at stuff very closely. Okay, and then you could encourage them to log back in, or encourage them to watch a video, or whatever. Okay, so watch this video. See, the font changed, didn't it? It's different font. I made a mistake. Let's undo. Okay. Watch this video to learn how to maximize your efforts with my partner in profit. Okay, now obviously you could talk more about it, but it could be short and sweet. That's fine. I'll delete that extra word there. Okay, so obviously you could type more. If you want another image, just drag it in. Okay, isn't that cool? If you want another image, boom, just click another image. It'll load up the image browser. And, you can do a search, or, you could just get creative and think, whatever. That's kind of cool. And it's loading that image. There it is. Now, it might not be big enough, so you can drag this bigger. Okay. Now, it's cutting off the bottom, so you could stretch it down. Something like that. So you're going to have to use some creative ideas here, but you could add some more images, more text. You can add a horizontal ruler. You can just drag it in and see how it looks. Okay. And then down here, this might be where they see the video. Okay, so maybe you're going to find one of my videos. So you go to YouTube. And you didn't have to do the video, but you're like, Chase did a really good video on something, so I'm going to just do Chase Swift Ask the Pros. These webinars I do. So you're going to pick one of these. Maybe it was really good, you thought, maybe it was on keyword research, or, leads with your own blog, or something that really inspired you. And you go and say, yep, I want that video. Boom. Okay. So YouTube's loading that. Slowly, albeit. Come on, YouTube. There you go. Running slowly. Okay, so yes, you're helping me, branding me, but you can use my video or use any video you want. Maybe it's one of Paul's. Just go to the share link and grab the link right here. It's already highlighted. So you right click and choose copy. Okay, go back to get response. And then you might want to say something like, watch this awesome video. Okay. Now, it looks a little weird, doesn't it? It needs to be stretched out a little bit, so stretch it out. There it is. Okay. Now, and you just click around these elements, they'll go away. It's weird. Now, that's white on white. It's kind of hard to see. So let's change the background color. Click once, and now you get the button color. Look at that. You could do a nice blue. Or you could pick any color. Okay. If it's a color you want to save, you can drag it. I don't know what you do here. You just do that and click OK. Okay. If you want to center, let me do that. Video. So here's, do you see that? Left justified? Here's centered right there. Boom. Okay. Then the button URL is the link to the video. Right click and choose paste. That's a YouTube video. Okay. Boom. That is writing an email. And, you just click next step, and you could send a test message to yourself. Let me just do that, because I really don't want to save this one. I need to do more thought to it. I'm going to send a test message. It'll pick up your account, okay, your email, and you can send it to yourself. And that way you can just, even though you see the look and everything, the email has been sent, even though you like the look and whatever, it's kind of nice maybe to see it in an actual email, okay? So, once you get it kind of the way you like it, I mean, I don't know what that black thing is. Maybe that's part of the image. It's kind of weird, but anyway, you get the idea. If you need to change the image, you can change it by clicking on the image right there. I'm giving it some time to email me, and I'll check my email in just a second. Let's change the image to this happy team. Okay. There we go. Let's fill it up a little bit bigger, and you can zoom in if you want. Okay. Awesome. Isn't that great? So if you learn how to write autoresponder messages like this, you know how to build leads and get them information. Holy cow. This is going to be good. Okay, so close YouTube, close the splash page, and I'll open up my Gmail real quick. And so hopefully you guys have seen a lot about GetResponse, obviously. Now, a lot of times though, the email can appear in spam, and it hasn't shown it quite yet. That's unfortunate. It sometimes takes a little time from GetResponse, and sometimes it'll appear in your spam folder because GetResponse is pretending to be my Gmail account, and my Gmail account knows I didn't send out that email, so they think it's spam. So I'm not seeing it yet, so we'll come back to that in just a second. All right. What else you can save it as a template, so you can use the template. Maybe you go through a nice style and you get exactly the way you want it. You want to save that as a template. You can do kind of like over and over and pull up a template. Okay. You can also save it as a draft, and actually I'll do that. Okay, so that way it's not an actual letter, but it's a draft. Okay, so I'll click on draft. Okay, now it's been saved, so it's in a draft. Okay. If I want to, I can go to the previous step and not save it, because this one was just a demonstration. Okay. If I want to exit, there's a little exit button to get out of this mode of creating a letter. And then you'll be back to your dashboard, and you can go to your follow-ups. Okay. These are all mine, and here's that draft tab. And you can see this one is still a draft. Okay. If I need to preview it, there it is. Okay. So looks kind of weird there. I don't know why. That's just probably a preview. Let's see here. We got a small window here. I need to be able to get through the X. There it is. Okay. You can edit it again and test it and do all that. That was just a test. Okay. So there's lots more. And by the way, GetResponse has some great support. If you have questions, you can ask for help. And basically, I think you go to your account, and then you can call them right here. Okay, an 800 number. If you're in the UK or Canada, they may have different numbers. They know I'm in the US. You can send an email or just go to live chat. Pretty cool. Let's see if that email, there it is. Okay, this time it didn't come into spam. It's in my inbox. So if I read that, okay, and I display the images, so there you go. Okay. So then when you click on this, watch this awesome video, boom, they're going to watch that video. Okay, and there's the one about leads. Okay, so you could do any video. You could take them to your blog. You could take them up to a sign-up page for your primary business. All sorts of things. So get really good with your autoresponder. It's such a tool. And by the way, Gmail will recognize YouTube videos, so it'll also show it down there. That's not part of the Get Response, that's Gmail. So you can actually watch the video there, okay? If your prospect has a Gmail account, okay? What can you do in 90 days, Chase? Notice how it pulled up my name. Pretty cool. So there's a lot to this. Pardon me while I mute that. There's a lot to your Get Response account, but you do want to build up your leads, and the more leads, the more subscribers you have. I've already gotten one today, but yesterday, 2 people, that's pretty cool. Last 7 days, see the numbers are adding up. This month, okay, all time, okay, pretty impressive, okay. So get subscribers, stay in touch, learn to use this autoresponder, ask questions in the Facebook support group, specific ones, and we'll be able to help you. Okay, so keep coming to these webinars. Ask the Pros on Thursdays. So you'll see. There we go. That I post these, and I also post the videos. So later on today, I'll post this video on how to use Get Response in the Facebook group. You could put that in your autoresponder. Okay, pretty cool stuff. All right, we'll close it out for today, and we'll see you next week.